Hi, this is Jacqueline Eckern with Eating Disorder Hope, and today I am proud to be interviewing Dr. Sarah Chips. She is one of the founders of Sanctuary. She brings a vast amount of experience to the field of trauma, eating disorders, and addictions. And we are fortunate to learn a little bit about Sanctuary today with Sarah. With that, I'd like to introduce you.
Hi, thank you so much, Jacqueline.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, Dr. Chips, what inspired you to found Sanctuary and what makes it unique?
So, uh, myself and Greta Gleisner, we have been working in the eating disorder field in New York for a little while now. And we came across in our work there a number of clients who really struggled in and out of treatment, didn't have maybe all of the services that they needed, and certainly had eating disorders, but these eating disorders were really rooted in trauma, and there hasn't been an intensive place to help people in New York City. There are some inpatient facilities that you can send people to do specific trauma work outside of the state that are quite good. But then once people come back, there's not really an intensive outpatient, so people can't be in their lives. And many of these clients were super high functioning, right? Have amazing capacity for career and have families, and really don't have good options or opportunities to go inpatient. And certainly there are people who need to be inpatient, but uh, this treatment facility is going to serve people who are coming back from inpatient and who need step down, and more wraparound and supportive services for PTSD and trauma, and also folks who maybe can still be in their lives and continue to do some intensive work around trauma. So we really wanted to set something up to serve these people who we saw falling through the cracks, who go in and out of eating disorder treatment facilities and might do some trauma work in those facilities, or might be doing some trauma work even with their outpatient team in New York City, but need just a little bit more support.
That is wonderful because we so agree at Eating Disorder Hope with uncovering and dealing with trauma related to eating disorders and addictions, but just all behavioral health issues. And I know there's such a need in New York for this. Thank you for conceiving of this concept and starting this program. Who is a really good candidate to come to Sanctuary for treatment?
So, like I said, it might be people who are coming from an inpatient facility or residential facility where they've been doing intensive trauma work already, and who need to continue a supportive treatment while they reintegrate back into their lives, right? And all kinds of trauma, right, are welcome at Sanctuary. And we're also going to have some specific services for first responders to, yeah, I don't know if Greta mentioned that, but we're looking at ways that we can also support first responders. So people who were affected by COVID, who might be healthcare workers, also in New York City, people who have been living for 20 years, almost 20 years, with trauma from 9/11. And so we wanted to provide some services for those folks too, but also childhood trauma, sexual trauma, perhaps car accidents, different kinds of trauma, anything that kind of rattles the nervous system, right? And trauma can also be not just these large events that everybody would consider that was a terrible, horrific event, but trauma is really not in the event, but in the response of the nervous system. It's in the experience. And so some things that might not be traumatic to one person, the nervous system of another person might respond in throwing that nervous system out of the window of tolerance and into really a fight, flight, or freeze response. That we're going to work with people both from a top-down and from a bottom-up approach to kind of untangle that response from the nervous system and help to get people back into the window of tolerance. So also people, I got a little bit off topic because I get so excited, but other people who might be good candidates are people who are doing intensive outpatient work with their primary therapist, and then realize that, whoa, I have, I'm having a big response to unleashing or like examining some of these things that have happened to me in the past, and I'm really struggling, right? I'm having more behavioral problems as a result, and I'm having more urges to be destructive, or I'm not able to get to work, and I need some more support because trauma therapy can be very destabilizing if it's not done in a slow, titrated, and supported way. And so people who are just working with an outpatient team and who need more support around trauma work for a little while would be good candidates as well.
Yeah, I think that I really admire the safety and expertise you're bringing to the clients at Sanctuary around trauma, because it can feel to people like a double-edged sword. I don't want to deal with it because I'm afraid of unleashing the demon. And yet, by not dealing with it, a lot of maladaptive behaviors are taking over my life. And so what a blessing for people to find a place where they can safely, slowly unravel some of what is troubling them and find a deeper sense of peace and well-being in life.
Yeah, that's exactly, the kind of environment that we are seeking to create, right? And so we're doing that with a very experienced team. We're getting a lot of consultation from a lot of different trauma experts. We're only hiring experienced, licensed staff. So, many of these eating disorder treatment facilities, which I used to, be a clinical director at one of them, there's a lot of inexperienced staff members, and you're using it as kind of a training environment, and you have pre-licensed staff who are working towards their license, and trauma is so specialized, and I think it's such a fragile thing to work with, and I think it's hard to do it well, and you have to have a lot of experience, and you have to be open to continued consultation, and you have to also have a large capacity to hold safe space for people who are having big emotions. And so we're really being intentional about the staff that we hire and the people that we work with, because we need this to be a safe place that's contained, and that is really run by people who are more experts.
And you're looking to open in July, starting with virtual care. Is that correct?
That's right. And that was not our intention to start virtually, but unfortunately, with this crazy pandemic situation, all of the treatment programs at least the outpatient ones have kind of gone to a virtual model in New York City. And so we are going to go ahead and start providing services over the interwebs in July. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. And I know if anyone has questions or would like to learn more about the program, you can call Sanctuary at 800-381-7340. We'll also be featuring Sanctuary on Eating Disorder Hope's website. And I understand your website will be launching soon. Could I get that URL for our viewers?
Sure, it's www.sanctuaryhealingnyc.com.
Perfect.
NYC.
Perfect. And real quick before we go, is there anything else that you would like our community to know about Sanctuary that sets you apart from other programs?
Well, I think something that's really important is that we are offering these both top-down and bottom-up approaches. And so we're really trying to have a wraparound approach to trauma. And by top-down, I mean working cognitively, right? So like working with the frontal cortex, working with reasoning and cognitive challenging, really a CBT approach and a DBT approach, very DBT heavy. But then we're also offering more body-based approaches like somatic experiencing and EMDR. So we're hoping that this does two things, that people who have, everybody's different, everybody works best with different modalities. And so we wanted to be able to serve more people and have something that fits and works for them. So some people are going to do really well with CBT, and some people are going to do better and really connect with somatic experiencing. And then the other thing that it does is it allows us to really do more, and I think have better treatment outcomes when we're thinking about how people can build and learn skills that are both somatic and cognitive. It's just going to give clients more tools in their toolbox.
Absolutely. So the comprehensiveness of the care is outstanding, really well vetted, experienced clinicians, and something really needed in New York. So we're very excited to learn about Sanctuary, and thank you very much for your time today, Dr. Chips.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline. It was a pleasure.